Hello guys, Wednesday the 20th of December 2017, and just a driving video, but done an overnighter last night. Stayed up on the top of Walton Hill in Somerset, and the reason for that is I purchased a diesel night heater, and last week it arrived in the post. I had to pay £23 to get it through customs, but we started to put it together last week and started installing the heater in the van. Last week I managed to mark it all up. I had to cut a hole in the bottom of the cupboard, so the cupboards were emptied. I marked up the heater using the plate, and made the holes going through the bottom of the van for the air intake, the exhaust, and the fuel line. And the following day I had to take the van in the garage to be checked over, as going up to Scotland in a week's time. Just wanted to make sure that the van was all sound and safe, and mechanically the van is all good. But going to work 4 nights, and yesterday was my first day off. 20 days off work for Christmas. I work 4 on 4 off permanent nights, so when you book 4 nights off you get 12, so 2 sets of 4 off. That gives me 20 days. That's one short of 3 weeks off work. And yesterday I managed to finish installing the diesel heater. Didn't need to drop the fuel tank at all, because the vehicle has a preheater, has a little diesel heater at the front of the vehicle, and what that one does is you start the engine and turn the fan on, press the heater button, and it heats the coolant. So a preheater. Now that one's not working. Not sure whether it's a glow plug, or whether it's a thermostat, or even a controller. But we'll look into that at a later stage. It would be nice to get it working, because it is cold in the vehicle when heading off home for work at 6 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, we got the heater all installed yesterday, and it's working. The thermostat is not far from the bed. I can sit in bed or lay in bed and adjust the temperature, turn the heater on and off. Very, very simple to install. All the parts was included. Now the instructions were in Chinese, couldn't read it, but there is a picture, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you the heaters. It's quite simple. You can't put anything in the wrong place, as the pipes don't fit together. I did fix the mounting plate to the bottom of the heater, and I did that, took a photo, and then realised that I'd not put the cable through. The wiring harness is all pre-wired. Now the plugs was not supposed to be fitted on the wiring harness, but they was. Now, I wish they hadn't, because the plugs are a lot bigger than the cable. And what I did with the thermostat, I cut the cable so I could drill a small hole through, as opposed to drilling a big hole and pushing the plug through. I drilled a small hole, pushed the cable through the hole, and then soldered and used a bit of heat shrink to tidy the cables up and make it safe. Now, after starting up the heater, it took quite some time to bleed the fuel through, but no problem. Once the fuel bled through, no problem at all. But last night in the van, I had the heater set to number 2. There's 10 lights on the controller, and it's I think 900 watt to 5 kilowatt. So each light must be go up in half kilowatt stages or somewhere around there, but had it on setting number 2 last night upon Walton Hill, and if anything it was a little bit too hot, but then outside temperature wasn't too cold. But I imagine setting number 1 would have been perfect. But we'll see what it's like up in Scotland, and when we got minus temperatures outside, I imagine we need to turn the temperature up a little bit. But seems to be working a treat. And some of my mates said you need to fit it under the bonnet. It sounds like a tractor. It's very, very noisy. And to be honest with you, it's completely the opposite. I fitted the heater in the cupboard, and I've got the hot air, so when the bed's in the opened up, it's blowing hot air under the bed. So no need for a heated blanket there. Absolutely perfect. It doesn't sound like a tractor. There's no muffler for the exhaust. I was expecting a muffler, but no muffler, and it just sounds like a jet engine. It's, yeah, you can tell there's a heater there, but inside the vehicle you cannot hear it. It's very, very silent running, and I'm still yet to box the heater in the cupboard, so we make it safe and it doesn't get damaged. I can then store all the accessories in top without having to worry about the heater getting hot. And as long as there's airflow coming in, it shouldn't be a problem. We're just outside of Bridgewater at the moment. I live in Bridgewater, and we're not far off of a village called Cannington. Hills in front there on the left hand side are called the Quantock Hills. But it was very, very misty this morning when I woke up, and the mist is cleared. We've got some blue sky, a little bit of cloud in the sky, but it's turned out to be quite a nice day today. Getting about 35 watts off of the 2 solar panels at the moment. But that was another thing I did a couple of weeks back now. I ordered a second 100 watt solar panel. Now we have 2 100 watt solar panels wired in parallel, fitted on the roof of the vehicle. So the voltage stays the same, and instead of getting 5.5 amps off of the one panel, we're now getting 10 to 11 amps off of the 2 panels. The fridge runs less than 6 amps. So in the summer, when it's light at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and the lights it's gone dark at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. The power I'll be using through the night, running the fridge, the lights and TV and whatever, I'll be putting more power back into the batteries during the day for the daylight hours than hopefully what I'll be using throughout the night. Now I did have a 190 amp hour leisure battery. The battery went faulty. I'm still yet to send it back. But what I have done is ordered 2 batteries, and batteries have been delivered last week before, and last week the batteries, and they're both fitted now underneath the sink and wired in parallel. So the voltage stays at 12 volts, and instead of the current being at 190 amps, we now have 380 amps of power. So hopefully the supply is big enough. Just passing my work at the moment. Just passed through Cannington. going to head up to the Quantock Hills. Head up there and stick the kettle on and have a cup of tea. But Christmas is coming up now, and next Wednesday I'll be driving up to Scotland. So Christmas Day is Monday, Boxing Day Tuesday, but each year I get a hamper from work. Last year there was an option of a hamper which would have consisted of a turkey and a few goodies, or a £25 voucher. This year was a choice of a £25 voucher, the turkey hamper, and the turkey is about £15–17 in weight, so it's you should get a good one. And this year the other option was a joint of beef. So gone for the joint of beef. I can pop in tomorrow, the 21st or 22nd, 23rd, anytime after 2 o'clock, and go and pick up the hamper. But at the parents for Christmas, and we'll be having a turkey for Christmas this year. Mum's had to buy one because I opted for the beef. I'm going to grab a bit of turkey, and the day after Boxing Day, Wednesday, cook up the joint of beef, and hopefully have dinner about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. About 2 o'clock, and that will all be ready to go. But about 2 o'clock, obviously I would have grabbed some of the beef as well to take with me. But gonna have about an 8 to 10 hour drive, and going to be heading up to Scotland. Whether I stop off at the Lake District on the way or not, I really don't know. It's going to be 60 mile an hour all the way, and I'll probably have 2 stops on the way. We'll see how it goes. When I came back from Scotland last time, I drove from Loch Lomond to Glasgow, filled up with diesel, and then I stopped once on the way back because it was dinner time. I was hungry. Didn't really stop for long, and drove back. So the driving doesn't really bother me, the distance. It's getting stuck in all the traffic. But leaving about 2 o'clock, I'm probably going to get stuck in the traffic around Birmingham at rush hour tea time. So not looking forward to that, but looking forward to going up to Scotland. Probably going to head towards Eyemouth and work the way around the coast. And New Year's Eve, got to find somewhere to park up, and not too far walk, but going to be at Edinburgh Castle, going to Hogmanay, and we're going to see Human League. Street party tickets were £23, and full event with the castle grounds was £60. I was only going to get a street party ticket, 23 quid, and would have seen Human League, but I thought, no, why not? I paid the extra, and it was actually a Christmas present off of the parents. Something I'd wanted to do and never ever done, and really looking forward to it. You see it on telly each year with London with the fireworks going off, so paid the extra. Going to see Rag and Bone Man, and going to see the fireworks from the grounds. There'll be about 4.5 tons of fireworks go off and explode, and looking forward to it. But hopefully, with what it's saying on the weather forecast, the temperature is going to be about 7 degrees cooler up in Scotland than what it is down here. Oh, got a tractor here, he's making space. Yeah, so hopefully the weather's going to be okay. The weather's temperature's actually warming up, so I don't think there's any snow forecast over Christmas. But it's nice to see the snow on the mountains. But hopefully conditions are right. The thing is with Scotland, it's either raining or it's about to rain. That's the only thing with the Northern Lights. Conditions are quite often there. It's just the lights are not visible because of cloud cover. Now, I've seen a little bit of the lights when I went up before, but nothing really to talk about, nothing spectacular. But it's December now, and I'll be up there into early January. It's the right time of the year, and hopefully we get to see the Northern Lights. Well, this van it drinks screen wash. I just can't get over it. I filled up the screen wash completely full, and within 2 days my light was flashing. It holds about 7 litres of screen wash, and it was full up. 2 days later, empty. I went in the range, picked up 5 litres of screen wash, £2. And believe it or not, I've done those 5 litres of screen wash already. The light flashes when it's running low, and then the light stays permanently lit when it's empty. That's the thing. This time of the year, with all the water and the muck and crap on the road, all the spray off of the lorries and the other vehicles, the vehicle gets absolutely filthy, and constantly having to clean the windscreen. Got to get myself a clock for the van, small clock to go in the back, and hopefully one with a thermometer on it, or I'll even get a thermometer. I suppose got to go in the range this afternoon, pick up a couple more bottles of screen wash, so I'll have a look, see if I can look in the gardening section, see if I can find a greenhouse thermometer, just so I can monitor the temperature in the back of the van. But after going out yesterday, I had roughly half a tank of fuel, and a 20-minute drive to Walton Hill after dinner last night. And the night heater on all night, a little bit this morning. And by the time I left the hill last night, left the hill this morning, the needle had hardly moved on the fuel gauge, but obviously driven back home and popped in town. We're heading up the Quantox at the moment, driving through the Quantox, and the needle's dropped a little bit. Hopefully the heater's not going to be too juicy on the fuel. I'm not going to be needing the heater on the 5 kilowatt settings. It's going to be far too much. So we're not going to be drinking loads and loads and loads of diesel, but hopefully it doesn't drink too much diesel on the low setting. And obviously we'll have to crank it up to full every now and again, just to burn off any soot that's built up in the heater. So usually come up the Quantox here on a Wednesday evening, and sometimes on a Saturday evening, and Sunday afternoons for the radio networks. I am a licensed radio ham. Got an amateur call sign issued to me by Ofcom, which I had to do some training and sit an exam, a little bit of practical to gain the licence. and quite often calling on the networks on Citizens Band. It was a big thing all these years ago, back in the 70s, on the illegal AM sets, and when the FM became legal, it used to be licensed. It's all unlicensed now. You can use 4 watts on FM on the UK 40, and on the European block, another 40 channels. You can use 4 watts FM, 4 watts AM, and 12 watts single sideband. And single sideband is 4 times as efficient as FM. And when we are approaching solar minimum, but when the band is open, there's contacts to be had. We're up on top of the Quantocks now, and the car park's it's not too far. Just here on the right hand side. Let's not pull up on the grass and park off the track today. We don't want to get stuck up here. There's no front reception whatsoever. I see a few of these horses about. There's loads of them up here. You get sheep, you get cattle. But I swear to God, a few weeks ago I was coming up here, and I swear to God I seen a black cat about the size of a puma. It was definitely bigger than an Alsatian, and it was just before the cattle grid as I was coming up, and it turned left and went down the road, and of course I'm going forwards, my lights are off of it, and I couldn't see, but I seen it for about 15 seconds, but to this day I still haven't got a clue what it was, but I swear it was a black cat. It's absolutely a beautiful day up here today. What I'll do is we'll get outside. I'll show you where I'm parked to. You can see the Bridgewater Bay, and that was a 360 view of the area of where I am at the moment, which is Dead Woman's Ditch up in the Quantock Hills. Can't see South Wales at all because of the mist, but we can see across of the Bridgewater Bay, but that's about it. I've been up here for about half hour, 40 minutes, enjoying a cup of tea and admiring the view. Got the heater running, and it's like toast in here. I'm not sure what the temperature is until I pick up the thermometer, but don't know if you can hear the heater going at the moment, but we're on setting number 1 and it's very, very silent running. What I'll do is I'll turn it up to maximum and we'll see if you can hear the difference. That's the temperature turned up to maximum. Just give it a little moment to start up, but it should become a little bit noisier. But outside the van, it just sounds like a jet engine, and it's not too loud at all. But good investment for the van, as yeah, it's alright using a hot water bottle and wrapping up in extra sleeping bags and duvets in the winter, but having a heater is the best way. Looked at going for gas, and it worked out I would use a whole bottle of gas in 27.5 hours, as opposed to the heater, this heater just using a little bit of diesel. But how I connected it to the fuel line was with the hose that supplies the preheater, the booster heater on the van. I cut the pipe and I've connected into the supply that goes to the tank. But after Christmas, I can get a part for a T-piece for less than £2, but it's going to take a little while for delivery, free postage, or I can pay the best part of £8 for next day delivery. So I think I'll wait for that, because the heater on the vehicle doesn't work. So chopping off the fuel supply for it, it's not going to make any difference. But I say thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to head on to into the range and pick up the screen wash and a few other little bits and pieces. Get back and to finish off wrapping up the Christmas shopping. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe and share. Bye for now.